a live stream. And you go about your business, take care of everything, and just as you're getting ready to sit down, somebody sits across from you and starts smoking. I mean, how dumb are people, really? Smoking in the 21st century, the guy before him was vaping. Everybody, I'm Jay here, and I'm drinking one of my favorite all-time beers in the world, Leo. And let's see, I don't actually have any, this is very strange. I don't know what to tell you. DJI device disconnected. No, we're still going. I gotta go to YouTube and find out what's going on. This is crazy. Subscriptions. Yeah, it says we're live. Gosh, I don't know what's going on. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I don't know. It's just crazy. Anyway, a couple things going on. Excuse me. I'm getting into the EDC market, everyday carry, different kinds of things. And I've got this bag by Direct Action. It's amazing. It's like a field engineering bag. It's like the best bag I've ever had. And it's got like the MOLLE system on it. You can see, for it's a military system for attaching things. These are linguine. These are outside, like vendor things that you can pop on, but it's got pouch on the side. This is something I added on. It's got like administrative pouches, and the cool part about it is the inside is all like Velcro, so you can add any kind of organizer thing that you want. Like I've got this thing in here that organizes like pens and stuff. And this is an EDC flashlight I got. This is the Wubin X4. This is one amazing device. Anyway, I could talk about this stuff all day, but I got some stuff inside of this, and it even has like an old-fashioned map pocket, because the guys like me would actually use paper maps, which we do sometimes in the field with map freaks and other things. A couple days ago, I had talked about the Gatsby. They call them facial wipes, but they're basically cooling wipes. I guess most people use them on their face, but you can put them anywhere that you want on your body. Will you get out? I'm looking to take one out. Thank you. So these things are quite something. And today is very hot. Of course, it's very humid. And I believe that within a few more minutes' time, we may actually get a thunderstorm. So today, I was out and about doing my thing. And I was thinking about whether I wanted to do a video. Now, I have a channel I've never used. Oh, by the way, I got this cool like beer holder. And I got it from Goodwill in USA when I was there. In Stokesdale, North Carolina. This is Oak Ridge, actually. Oak Ridge, sorry, not Stokesdale. Oak Ridge. From the Goodwill Company. I'm a big supporter of Goodwill, and what I mean by that is I buy stuff from their place when I can. But I deal with U.S. businesses every day. Being a supplier here in Taiwan. And I think I should do a video on what the tariffs are actually doing to American business. Because I know you hear what's going on from the government side. But how many of you who are listening to me on this live stream actually really know? Does it affect you personally? Or do you know people that you've heard complain? Because here's the thing, these customers, they complain to me. If I ship something to a customer in the United States and he has to pay a huge tariff, he's going to complain to me. Now, it's not my fault. He's letting me know. But here's the thing. I get all kinds of information through these channels directly from these US companies. And one of the myths I absolutely have to bust is the one that's Spider-Man. Hi, Gramps. Yeah. I'm actually not a Gramp. I'm 70, which qualifies me age-wise. But my daughter is 13 years old. Because you know what happened? I was installing something the other day on my wall, and I was using a stud finder, and I had to quit because I kept setting it off. So what makes you Spider-Man? Web of deceit? So anyway, here's the thing. These customers, they complain directly to me about tariffs and things that are going on. Here I am in Taiwan. This is the industrial park right here. And if I turn this around, this is the residential area. But down in the end of the block to the left, and actually on the other street behind there, is all factories. And so this is the environment that I'm in. I'm in the Taiwanese manufacturing environment. I'm a Taiwanese manufacturer. So the thing is, I know what's going on from this side because my US customers tell me, hey, you know, I want to start doing this in Taiwan. I want to take it out of China because of tariffs. So I'm going to do a short feature film on the actual impact because I think it's important. The biggest thing I've got to debunk is you hear statements like, it's bringing so much revenue into our country. Constantly, people in the US government are saying, it's bringing money into our country. Depends on the definition of the word into. Let me explain. If the IRS taxes taxpayers and take a bunch of money from them, eventually that money does make its way into the economy. So you could say, yeah, it's bringing money into the economy, but it's not bringing it from the outside. That's the key. And I don't know if they're being purposely deceptive or not. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I have heard one official say that they're bringing money in from other countries due to tariffs. And that's incorrect. Because I can tell you from personal experience as a supplier, I do not pay tariffs on outgoing stuff. Not at all. No outgoing tariffs. No such thing. That would be charged by Taiwan, if anything. But Taiwan is a very forward-thinking policy. It's amazing. If you have a trading company and a license, you know, an export license, and you export products from Taiwan to overseas, you know, it goes out on export to an overseas customer, then you get all your sales tax back. See, that's the kind of stuff the United States should be doing. But the other thing that I want to emphasize is this. I get the whole competition thing. And there's no real money in the States anymore for R&D. These companies that are, you know, putting out all new cinema cameras and lenses and stuff, they're all from China. American companies don't have the money to do that anymore because it's all gone. Here's the thing, it's not coming back. Where I'm sitting, this industrial park, it didn't exist before the late 70s. So this latest thing here, I mean, what I'm saying is, all of this growth came because of companies in Europe and North America outsourcing. Once it outsources, it never comes back. It can't. Economy can't support it. So the idea was that with tariffs, you'd make the foreign competitor price so high that you buy domestic. Well, that works for finished products up to a point, but what you end up with is just too expensive versions because nobody ever lowers their price, right? So the exact same thing happened with the breakup of AT&T and starting new cellular companies. Just had 4 or 5 all expensive versions of the same thing. So those jobs aren't coming back. It works with finished products, but with things like machining, individual processes, casting, finishing, painting, whatever. Those things, they're gone, man. They're not coming back here in the United States. They're not coming back to USA. Anyway, that's just something I've been thinking about. I added a new guitar to my collection this week. Last week. Help from my friend Tony Lynn, who negotiated a deal for me. And I'm now the proud owner of a Gibson EDS 1275 double neck 6 and 12. You better look at the road and not me, baby. Looking at me like she never saw somebody wearing a hat before. Well, it's true. Maybe she never saw a white guy in this neighborhood wearing a hat, live streaming, eating pork rinds and drinking Thai beer. But that's beside the point. No, I haven't been on so long that I haven't been on so long that nobody's even watching. This is hilarious. That's okay. We have a pretty nice day going on here, though. And for a while, it was looking like it was going to rain. And we had gusts up to like 35 kilometers an hour, which is like pretty high. So high I couldn't walk down the street without holding my hat. Today's Thursday, and I usually live stream on Thursday evenings. So this is kind of unusual for me to be out on Thursday day. But we'll see. See what happens. The truth is, though, is I haven't had a lot to talk about for a long time. I mean, things are just kind of status quo. I'm working on some recordings. Actually, I've got a real estate agent looking for a room in my neighborhood where I can open a studio. Open a studio. I have so many guitars now. I need to move my collection to there. And I need to be able to get equipment in and out, like on the first floor or with an elevator, doesn't matter. Yeah. I want a room where I can film some YouTube videos too, because I have a lot of studio content that I want to do. Really strange. You didn't see that, maybe watch the replay. Woman, well, they rolled up to a stop sign, but it was green, but they, they had to slow down, but they didn't stop. And the woman saw me roll down the window, looked at her husband, and then, I don't know, maybe she's going to say something. Who knows? People here generally don't say anything out the window, but they do. It's kind of fun. Dave, afternoon. Fist bump. Yes, fist bump, Dave. This is your favorite form of live stream entertainment from yours truly. the afternoon live stream, my rain alarm just went off 4.3 kilometers away, and it is strength of 30%, area 12%. Anyway, we're liable to get a live stream, liable to get a excuse me, a nice storm coming up. So for those who haven't seen me for a while, I've been okay, cool. I appreciate it. Don't get busted by the teacher for running YouTube in the background. I grew my mustache, and I got a Norelco / Phillips one blade to try to manage my beard. You guys notice my face has been red, and it turns out that I've been irritating my face with the Muji facial scrub. It's too rough for me. I've been chasing really close shaves with the Arc 5, and it's actually been irritating my skin. So the one blade cuts considerably less close. I mean, it's still great. It's good enough for daily use, let me tell you, but it's a cool little thing. It's tiny. And hold up straight up against your face. It's like using a straight razor, or a cartridge razor rather. It's pretty interesting. So I'm going to use that exclusively for a couple of weeks. I'm going to get rid of this abrasion rash over here. Because man, that's no fun. But I really wish it would rain for two reasons. I'd love to show you guys a good rainstorm, and I want it to cool down. But today we're eating crackling fried pork skin from Taiwan. And these are some of the best pork skins. They're really clean. They're not oily at all. Obviously they changed the oil. Dave, I showed my new tactical bag earlier, but here it is with the MOLLE system, you know, military attachment points. Looks huge when I'm holding it up. But it's a really nice bag for everyday carry. And, you know, at some point, I probably should do a review of the Woobin flashlights that I've been using for the last couple of months. Are fantastic. Brought them to the United States, and they are in the category of EDC, everyday carry. Now, see this flashlight this size, right? Look at this. I want to show you this. This is amazing. If I undo the lock and I pop this, you can see that this flashlight is all battery. So they are really, really engineering this thing just amazing. This thing has 1,500 nits with a thumb wheel that allows you to adjust the level. And there's also a side light. Okay, and the side light level is adjustable too, right? Okay, side light level is adjustable. But if you press and hold this, then it turns into RGB mode, which is super. And one thing I really like about it is one of my favorite, if I turn this off, one of my favorites is you double press and you get beacon mode. In this case, it's set for red and blue, which it is. Red and blue is great when you're walking around, because in Taiwan, you get a lot of respect for red and blue. But the other thing too is that you can change it to red, green, or red, yellow, right? I'm just looking at something here. I get notifications from my camera at home. Anyway, going back to YouTube. Okay, so yeah, it's really amazing. And one thing I love about it is if you're in either the side light mode or the front light mode, and if you're on and you double press, you get turbo mode, 1,500 LUTs. It's amazing. There's a tactical button on the back. You can just press it and have it turn on. But if you double press it, then it makes this blinding, absolutely blinding, dual frequency strobe, which is meant to confuse attackers. It's great. USB-C with the belt clip. I took the belt clip off it earlier, but I put it back on. And I dropped this thing on the ground the other day. And it's, you know, it's die-cast aluminum. And this one's gray. I got a white one. Actually, I got the white one kind of for my collection. And a friend of mine likes these, and I was afraid to take it out because the white one would get banged up so much. I just gave it to my friend, right? But I dropped this thing on the ground the other day, and it got a little banged up, but it doesn't matter. It's pressure die cast aluminum. It's not sand cast. This is pressure die cast aluminum. And the white one actually looks like a Star Wars device. If you can, you know what I'm saying? It kind of has like a lightsaber look to it. It's really something. There's another one called a G5 that I've been using. That's the first one that I got. Phoenix and my wife both have G5s, and we use them when we travel. The G5 is dead flat, tiny, fits in a shirt pocket. Whoops, fits in a shirt pocket. And let me tell you, when I'm traveling to Japan and to the United States and back to Taiwan, I use that G5 on the plane, like more than anything else. But you know, it is on a plane, right? It's cramped. You're sitting there tucked in, you can't even move. So you pull something out, what happens? It drops. And you go, oh my God, I can't find it. And you're bothering people. Having a small, tiny, portable flashlight, you can pull out of your pocket. Doesn't present any threat, so TSA says, okay, fine, just let it go. And has a variable light on it, because like the X4, you can turn it on, there's a wheel, and so you can dial it like right down to like nightlight mode. And on a plane, that's perfect. But then when you need more power, you double press and you get the turbo, you get right back to full power. Let me tell you, I must have on the plane, I must have used it 10 times looking around. Where's my shoes? Take my shoes off, right? Drop my hat. Oh, where's my hat? Where's my bag? Oh, it's over there. You know, oh, I dropped my fork eating. Story of my life. Really, really made a big difference. This Wuben company, quite amazing. Wuben. They have a sale on. They got a new one called the X1 Pro. I should get a I should get a discount code from them, huh? What would it be? What would my discount code be? I don't know. No tariffs. So yeah, the X1 Pro doubles as a battery bank. It takes 30 watts PD in, gives 15 watts PD out. But it has, don't quote me on this, 12,000 watts. It's a monster. There's a fan in it, the cool front. This thing, if you turn this thing on and you point your hand like this, you'll get a burn. I don't know if I can show this because I don't think it'll translate well. Down all the way. Let me see. Well, let me just turn it on. There's 4 LEDs, okay? And I don't know if you can see this. There's 4 LEDs. So it not only has a spot in the center, it has flood around the sides. So that was something that I really found interesting because having a spot plus a flood is very useful. Minus MJ is a good discount. Yeah, that'd be interesting. J-Boy, how you doing? Didn't see you come in. This bump. How's it going, man? So just talking different stuff. I got my tactical bag here. We got some cooling wipes like we get in Taiwan and other parts of Asia. Got them in Japan. I got them everywhere, Thailand, everywhere. Probably have them in the States by now. When I went back to the States, it was amazing because, man, you guys don't know how it was. Traveling here before 2010, traveling to Asia before 2010 was amazing because we had all the new Nokia and Sony Ericsson phones that nobody had outside of Asia. We had all this bubble tea and all these things that nobody else had. Yeah, thanks, J-Boy. It has been a while, man. To be honest with you, you know, the game has changed. Yeah, I'm older now too, right? I turned 70 recently. And I don't have as much to say. And maybe I'm getting cynical, or I don't know, but I used to really enjoy the interaction with people, and I still do. I still enjoy that. But the problem is, newer people are not so nice. If you scroll back, first comment I got was, "Hi, Gramps." Yeah. But, you know, when it's all said and done, they wish they were me. What can I say? Everybody wishes they were me. I knew a band years ago that had a song, "Don't You Wish You Were Me." I thought that was the greatest song ever written. I should cover that song. I'm munching away on these pork rinds because they have zero carbohydrates, zero sugar. And ready for this? 57% protein. You're right, J-Boy. Ignored's the best way. You can go back later and see what I said. Maybe not the most clever thing, but J-Boy, every time I see you, because we talked about this a bunch of times, I need more old muck. I got like this much. I mean, like, I got like 2 millimeters left in a jar, in a bottle. I'm afraid to drink it because it still maintains all the full aroma. So every once in a while I walk by my liquor cabinet, I'm like, oh, and I just, you know, I'm like snorting that babe, put a cap back on. It's like, oh man. Yep, I need a case of it. What I mean, fuck. That's because you know me, bro. Now, when I was in North Carolina, right? Unfortunately, when I was in the other places, there weren't any, and I look, any Indian communities, but in Greensboro there is an Indian community. It's not as big as like, there's a huge Cambodian and, believe it or not, Lao community, but not so much India, but there is some, because there's an engineering area out there, and they got a lot of engineers from India there. And Old Monk is in the North Carolina ABC system. Now, North Carolina is one of those places that alcohol, distilled, you know, spirits is separated from fermented spirits like beer and wine. So distilled stuff has to be sold at an ABC store. They're not open on Sunday because of the blue laws, because, you know, God says you can't drink on Sunday. And they close like 9 o'clock at night or something. So you can't like decide at midnight, hey, let's go party. Well, you can, it doesn't have to be beer or wine, right? But I went to the, actually, I used AI to try to help me find this. And AI told me that it's listed in the North Carolina ABC system. And I went to the store and I said, hey, you got this stuff? And they go, nowhere in Greensboro. I'm like, so if I lived there, or Next time I visit North Carolina, I can go to the local store, excuse me, and ask them to get me some of it. Excuse me, and bring it over to the store, you know, near my sister's house. And it might take 10 days or 2 weeks. There you go. But let me tell you, when I was in U.S. in 2024, and we went to Niagara, right? My brother-in-law, Tom, man, he drove this, and my sister Nancy, they got this Winnebago, man. He drove it. This guy's an animal. Tom is amazing. He's fantastic. What a fantastic man this guy is. He drove all the way up there. Anyway, we went to Niagara Falls area, and we were going around the corner, and I said, I'm going to stop at this liquor store. I saw it on Google, right, Maps, and I walked in, and there was I saw a Sikh, and I went, oh wow. And I started looking, okay, and then I realized, and I looked on the bottom of the shelf, Old Monk. I said, there's an Indian community here. Oh gosh. Now, J-Boy's asking, just out of curiosity, how much alcohol is Thai Customs about to bring into the country? And that's a good question. And the answer is, I don't know, because it's different than it used to be. Here's the thing. When I imported I went to US to work on this vintage amp, and we didn't finish it. So I ended up putting it in a box and putting it in cargo. It made it late. It was delayed. And so I had to go to Taiwan Customs and fill out the paperwork for it. I got it duty free, but they asked me 2 questions. Does it contain cigarettes? No. Does it contain alcohol? No. So I never got to the point where, excuse me, I'm sorry, I apologize. I never got to the point where it got to the how much part, right? I can only tell you what it used to be. And I know a trick that my Taiwan friends used to do when they would go to America. Now, I don't know if it works here, but they would have 2 bottles in their shopping bag, but they would always bring a 3rd bottle that was open and had some, you could see it was like, it wasn't full, it had been drunk, and they would say, well, this is mine. And they would actually say that. They would even say that in Chinese, you know, Di Sanbei is mine. It's mine, it's mine. Tell them it's mine. Apparently, the thought was that if it's a personal bottle, it doesn't count towards the. More than likely, what I think that they just, you know, exhausted customs and immigration, and 25 years ago, they didn't care that much. But it used to be 2 bottles, like 700 or 750 milliliter. It used to be 2 bottles. But fortunately, all that stuff now is very easy to find on the internet, and even ChatGTP can tell you that. That's what they say. Yeah, I know it's clever, but I don't know if it worked, but they said it did. But that was time when people going to America, so I never tried it coming in. But did I ever tell you the story of when I went to China? And I'm going to say it was 2006. Back in those days, see, I didn't drive, you know, and I was a lot more carefree than I am now, if you can believe that. I used to carry a whiskey flask with me everywhere. Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, Joe Boy says they must have closed that loop now. I would imagine that they did, but I don't know if I told you, maybe I did, but I went into China. Now think about when you go into China, they're real security freaks, and they want to go for everything. So your carry-on bags, you know, your personal bags, like we call it, in Chinese, we call that a bao bao, you know, like a man bag. It's the same as a woman's pocketbook, you know. This is my man bag, right? But it's the same as a woman's pocketbook. We just call it a bao bao. They'll go through that when you come into China. They got like like another security line, and you take stuff out of your pockets and you put your bao bao down. They open it and they look at it. So this inspector, he pulls this flask out, and he says, "Is this empty?" You guys know me, right? So I said, well, let me see. And I grabbed it and opened it up. I knew it wasn't. And I went like this, and then I got my mouth open, and I did like an Anthony Quinn, you know, with a wineskin. I was pouring this thing like up, you know, full arm's length away, right? Just right straight in my mouth. So much so that the immigration and customs inspector looked at the guy next to him and he's like, you know, look at this guy. And then after I finished, I put the cap back on and I said, yes. Because it was empty then. It's a wonder I didn't get arrested. Some of the stuff I pulled, I was in Japan. First time, long time ago, year 2000, I think. Yeah. I was going to Taiwan and landed in Kansai. Now here's the thing, in Japan, no matter whether you stay in a secure zone or not, the law in Japan says every single person who boards a plane must go through a security check. So no matter what the deal is in Japan, if you're getting on board a plane in Japan, you're going through security. That's it. So they had me go through security. And they're wanding me and they go, you know, beep, beep, a couple beeps. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to Japan, but the ladies are so cute, you know, they got their uniforms on and gloves and their hat and everything. And this woman says, I gotta, you know, do you mind if I check you? And I said, no. That's the correct answer. No, you don't mind. And I'm standing there off to the side and she says, may I touch your body? I'm like, okay. And she was kneeling down on the floor. I'm so bad. With her fingers and gloves inside my belt going like this, feeling for knives or something, whatever. And I looked down at her, I said, this is my first trip to Japan. And she said, how do you like it? And I looked down at her and I said, I love it here. And the whole security area went insane, laughing and howling, and it was just, oh my gosh. And I kept thinking, oh God, I'm gonna get arrested. I never should have done that. That customs guy, right? He's hitting the guy, right? He's saying, look at this guy. And then I handed it back to him and I said, yes, you mean it's empty? He did the coolest thing you could ever do. He didn't break, didn't flinch, he just went like that. It's like, I felt like giving him a fist bump. That's when they recognized that, you know, something funny just happened. Yeah, it was funny, man. It was really funny, but gosh. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad now. I got a daughter. I'm older. I'm smarter. I'm wiser, hopefully. I don't know, maybe I'm not smarter. It's just that, you know, I've never been one to squander an opportunity for something like that, you know? I mean, you just got to do that. The greatest one of those of all is, you guys know my friend Grady. I've been talking about Grady. And I'm going to have some Grady content because Grady interviewed me for a while. Yeah, absolutely unscripted. I mean, you couldn't use, you know, mobile phones back then. And of course, in the year 2000, I'm not sure what we had that could record, but that would have been cool. You could have recorded it. But Grady interviewed me about, you know, things like how did the audition for Kiss come about, and the whole thing with New England, you know, the band New England. He was a big fan of New England. And just, you know, there's probably about 30 or 40 minutes worth of stuff that's probably YouTube. We'll talk about Todd Rundgren some a little bit, you know. But Grady is the chief engineer for a radio station on Bermuda, which requires him at 78 years old to go there once in a while and In fact, right around the time that I was in the States, he and John Garrett, they had a book to Bermuda to handle some stuff there. But here's the thing. There was a tower that they wanted to share. They wanted to put their FM transmitter, you know, the stick, because towers are either support structures or antenna, depending on the frequency. Like an AM radio station, the tower is the antenna. But for an FM radio station, the tower is a support structure for a small antenna on the top. And we just call that a stick. Okay. So Grady wanted to put, if I know Grady, it was a Shively 2-bay FM antenna on the same tower as the Bermuda Police Department. And the Bermuda Police Department, and this is, Grady wrote a PDF about it, he actually wrote about it. The Bermuda Police Chief called him up and said, I'm sorry, but our engineers have determined that it's just too much of a load to have your antenna on our tower in addition to everything else that we have. Kidding, like that. So Grady says, like, his heart when I go down to his feet. And the police chief said, the police chief said to him, look, man, you got to understand. An opportunity to do something like that only comes along once in a long, long while. Maybe for some people, once in a lifetime. And I had to take it. And Grady was like, of course, I would have lost respect for you if you didn't. So. I actually love stuff like that, you know. Anyway. So, J-Boy, what's the weather right now where you're at? My left eye's been bothering me. Sorry, I'm going to be wiping it with my finger and with my, you know, my one boy jacket sleeve. What's the weather where you are at? And one bad thing is I can't tell unless I go to my other app. Oh, it's been disconnected. I can't even tell how long I've been on. Anyway, I'm trying to get this to. You know what? We've been lied to all this time. We've been lied to the fact that you can't use anything but Google Chrome to connect to YouTube Studio with mobile and stuff. And I just used Safari and it worked better than Chrome ever even thought about working. Hot and hotter. Just for those who you don't know, J-Boy's in India. J-Boy, I want to come see you, man. Yeah, could we hang, man? And if I bring a guitar, like, just someplace we could go jam. Let's do that. El Nino year. Oh yeah, okay. You know, I gotta admit, at one time I understood the El Nino effect, but now I don't. Gosh, I gotta go back. I'll go home later and take my nap, and I'll fall asleep to Wikipedia reading it. The reason I gotta take a nap is I stay up late. I stay up to 3 or 4 a.m. because I'm always dealing with U.S. customers and other things. But yeah, but that'd be cool, man. We should hang. That would be fantastic. That'd be amazing. India would be a big country. Which part do you want to visit? That's a really good point. Well, my friend Shaman is in Kolkata, and Shaman apparently has a compound because he told me he has Gurkha working for him as guards. And then I'll go hang with you. And you're probably in Goa or something like on the other side. It'll take me 6 weeks to get there. I don't know. What I like to do is when I travel to a place, I like to travel to places where I know people, you know, and I like to go where they are just to see, you know. Yes, it is. And so, without saying, you know, you're in the West, told you. Exactly. Well, they got Old Monk in every province. That's all I need to know. That's the main thing. But so maybe I'll meet you in Kolkata. We'll hang out with Shaman, and then we'll go back to your place, man. How about that? That'd be cool. I could arrange that. Shaman is a funny guy. We went to Thailand together. See, here's the thing. I was talking with Dave yesterday about this. I used to blog, man, way before. Gosh, you know, I did my first live stream in 2015, you know, but I was blogging. I started blogging 10 years earlier in 2005, and I won like every like Taiwan blogger category you could win. So many times I bowed out. I said to these agencies, don't give me any more awards. I can't, you know. So this is before you had to have an SSL certificate. I never put in an SSL certificate. I have reduced the bandwidth significantly so nobody really can go to my blog, but it's still there. It's like a snapshot. You can see Thailand in 2006 and Laos 2007 and 8, all these places, you know. But Shaman and I actually went to Thailand, and it was, it was 2006. And there's an article called Bushman and Shaman Do Thailand, and it's hilarious. So I should open up some more bandwidth for that site, and I should send you the URL so you can look at that, J-Boy. But I was talking with Dave, you know, and I still like to take pictures. I've got these cameras, because when I was in the States, I didn't really tell much about it, but now I've got the Fuji, and when I went from here to the US, I stopped in Japan, and I upgraded my lens. I got now a 16-135, beautiful Fujifilm lens. And when I was in the United States, I acquired a second camera system, a Nikon Z6 III. Okay, that's pretty high level. The funny thing is, it doesn't do open gate like the Fuji does. So the Fuji's APS-C and has actually a higher resolution setting, which is weird. But the Nikon definitely has its uses. And so, depending on which system you use, I have the capability of taking some amazing photos and amazing videos, which would fit really nice in a blog. But who's reading them? Who's reading blogs? TC Lin has been blogging continuously for 25 some years, and you look at his blog now from Taiwan. He blogged something a couple weeks ago. He's always doing that. Prolific writer, filmmaker, amazing creator. I quit blogging as soon as I started doing this, holding my gimbal, you know. People want to watch videos, and I realized that because I was using Google Video before it was YouTube to show industrial processes, you know, on my website. So the question is, I mean, I still have TaiwanLive.tv. I got MapFreaks.tv, all these domains, you know, and I have a hosting account. I can do as many websites as I want. The thing is do I want to start blogging? What I did before, the big problem with photos is hosting, and you know, high resolution photographs take up a lot of space, but I've been paying for Flickr Pro for a long time. I pay like $100 a year for unlimited photo storage. So the point I'm trying to make is that I could link to those photos. They would link to, you know, my Flickr account, which I don't think would matter. But question I have, once again, excuse me, would anybody read it? Would it? Nicole, how are you? Fist bump. Good to see you. Been a long time. How's everything with you? Would anybody read it? Start blogging again. Would anybody read it? I don't know. Nicole, I was thinking about you the other day because I went back to Japan for a couple of days on our way to the United States. Had a blast. Upgraded one of my Fujifilm lenses. But how are you doing? It's been a long time. Gosh, I think I saw a comment from you just the other day, either on Facebook or Instagram, but well, that's true. But I just don't know what the metric would be. Excuse me. See, I used to have counters, you know, J-Boy, like, you know, so many people had visited this page and stuff. But in the end, I just don't know what it buys you. In fact, I don't know what this buys you, except this might be a way to, oh, we enjoyed ourselves. The food there, as you know, is just amazing. We had some fantastic yakiniku, and I got a bottle of Fuji whiskey. Of course, I'm a big Fuji film fan. You know, the camera got it. But yeah, J-Boy, it's just that the thing with this is it eventually leads to monetization if you're successful, you know. And like my blog did have a lot of advertising on it, but it was, you know, like private companies would advertise. So yeah, I'm not posting so much anymore. Basically, I'll put a couple things on Facebook and I kind of cross posts to Instagram, but not really, you know, so much of a creator these days. Let me turn my camera around. Right now it's 14:08, so it's 8 minutes after 4 p.m. I'm going to do this and show this. Well, thanks so much. I hope we don't interrupt your sleep because it is getting late. I mean, well, depending on where you are, it's probably really late because it's after 2 a.m. Eastern time. But yeah, so no, thanks so much for dropping in. Appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you on another time that's a little more advantageous for you. But so this is I'm in front of the famous Jarjar store, and Dave's been here, and Casper, and Jeff. Everybody's been here. So yeah, not really. You know, things have changed. Climate's changed. People have changed. I've changed. I don't have so much to say anymore. Things have become so politicized, you know. It started really around COVID, and it's just gotten worse and worse. And like the very first comment somebody made on this live stream today was, "Hi, Gramps." People they just don't care what they say. They just, you know, it's too easy. 208, yeah, okay, so you're in East Coast. Wow. It's just too easy for people to be insulting. But I gotta tell you, as insults go, I gotta rate that one like a -8. Could have done a lot better. Hi, Gramps. Somebody my age probably is. It's hilarious. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I did turn 70 recently. He's just mad because he doesn't look as good as I do for my age. But he didn't go see Dr. Sears. That's the thing. But man, when I was in the States, I put on some weight. Whoa. The food there, my gosh. Yeah, there are. It's, yeah. Too many is right. I joke with my Taiwan friends. Like I would go to the States and I would order something. Waiter coming. Thanks, but I haven't celebrated a birthday in 40 years, but thanks. Yeah, exactly. But I joke with my Taiwan friends, right? The wait person would put a plate down. I go, hey, wait, I want the small. And they would say, that is a small, it feeds 4. I'm like, there's 1. Well, what's the large? It feeds 8 to 10. It's like, my gosh. I would see people there, right? I gotta tell you, I got compliments in the States on how good I looked. Like I was thin. I saw a guy one time in the States. at the Kowloon in Saugus, Mass, the restaurant. He was so heavy in the front that he had to walk like at an angle to counterbalance the front. I felt so bad for him, you know? And it's just, but. And what I started doing was looking at the ingredients, and they have got you hoodwinked because they purposely goof up the way the scales are on everything so you can't tell like what stuff is. For example, I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of hard. This is a nutritional chart, and the far right-hand corner is per 100 grams. So anything per 100 grams, anything divided by 100 is a percentage. So for example, it says here, of course, it's all in Chinese. It says protein 57 grams. That's 57%, and it says carbohydrate 0, sugar 0, salt 1035 grams. You know, so it's like, you can easily see how things are. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm getting some pooling in my nasal cavity. So you can easily see how things stack up. But you know, you go to the States and it says that it's a very low value of something like sugar. Okay, based on serving size of 1 or 2. Okay, so yeah, okay. Oh gosh. Yeah, so you have no idea how much you're actually consuming because it doesn't scale. You'd have to actually use AI to take a picture of it to tell you what the percentage is. So, yeah, good idea per 100 grams. Nicole, sodium is a lie. Japanese diet is one of the highest sodium diets in the world. It's the stack with sugar and sodium together. Yeah. I want to say hi. 我开直播，在世界上啊。Yep. Live streaming to the whole world. Those people were nice. They were waving and all smiles, so yeah, they're cute. Anyway, you know, the big problem with, gosh, that was a, wow, I just saw a Land Rover Defender that had, excuse me, a matte gray wrap on it. It looked amazing. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to quit pretty soon. The big problem with processed foods, people say, oh, you shouldn't eat processed foods because of chemicals. No, not because of chemicals. Yeah, chemicals are a problem. But the problem with processed foods is that you are inundated with a fantastic, ridiculous amount of some ingredient in a small package. Like, for example, this is Leo beer, okay? But, you know, this is the Coke can size, right? Okay. Good old Coke can size. If you were to drink a can of standard Coca-Cola like this, it has as much sugar as, it's been reported, as 9 feet of sugar cane. A piece of sugar cane 9 feet long. That's the danger of processed foods. Not that it has, you know, trans fat in it or some chemical. It's the fact that it's overloaded with disproportionate amounts of ingredients of things. And the same can happen with supplements, because a lot of people will take omega-3 or omega-6 or something like that. But the problem is you got to take all the omegas in balance. And everybody forgets, whoops, there's a 7. Omega-7 is a gift from God. So yeah, now let me do this. I'm gonna see if I can do this. I remember at one time I could promote people to be moderators. Remember that on YouTube? Could promote them to be moderators, and now I don't see how to do that. I gotta tell you, man, N-shitification is a legitimate word. We're living in a time where things are being subjected to N-shitification. And YouTube is definitely N-shitified. Yep. That's unfortunate where we are now. The N-shitification of everything is going to be the death of everything. I have wasted enough of your time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm not sure when I'll be back. Maybe tonight, maybe not. Probably not, but it could be. I don't know. But you can interact with me on the community on YouTube. You know, you can pick any of the posts that I made on YouTube community, and you can, you know, tell me what you think. So we've been live streaming for 1 hour and 2 minutes. So I'm going to pull the plug on this. Thank you so much, and we're going to see you next time. And as always, I love you guys. Bye-bye.